Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome in on a Friday to Kindness Rising. Thank you for joining me here today. Remember, you don't climb a mountain by talking about it. You climb it step by step by step by step through trust, vulnerability, healthy conflict, and commitment, and finally, accountability. This week, we've built the foundation. Today, we reach the summit because results are not accidental. They are relational. And high-performing teams, they don't hope for excellence. They raise the standard. Welcome into Kindness Rising. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. I come here every morning to help you get up with a little bit of hope, a little bit of humanity, and a whole lot of heart. And of course, today is a Friday, so we're keeping it loose. We're keeping it light. We're getting ready for the U.S. hockey game, 3:10 p.m. this afternoon. U.S. will take on Slovakia at 10:40 this morning. You're going to see Canada versus Finland. And guess what? I hope both the Canadians and the U.S. team win, and we will have the showdown that we have all been waiting for, the greatest talents in the game of hockey. And today we are going to relate that to what we are doing. But first, welcome to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. And all week long, we've been walking through the pyramid from the 5 dysfunctions of a team. And we are going to relate this to, I'm going to try to relate it. I'm going to relate this from this book, that pyramid, from pyramid right there. Never done that before. That pyramid right there. Relating this to how we build accountable teams and how we're building a team at a special place called Weird LinkedIn. Absolutely. I'm glad to talk about that. Stick around. We're going to talk about that. But first, trust. Trust is the bottom of our pyramid. That creates safety through vulnerability that enables real conflict that sharpens clarity and creates commitment. And now here we are sitting at the top of our pyramid, and we are ready for the accountability and the results, because if no one holds the standard, then nothing changes. Thank you again for joining me here at Kindness Rising. We're having a little bit of fun on a Friday morning, getting ready for the U.S. game this afternoon. I'm wearing my hockey tooth, or not wearing my tooth. This is what happens when a hockey stick meets a chicken wing. And of course, my Kindness Rising headband. So a little bit of a different show today, keeping it light as we head into the weekend. But here's the deal. Accountability isn't punishment. It's shared ownership. In low trust teams, accountability flows downward. The boss puts his thumb on you, or she puts her thumb on you and enforces the rules. But in high trust team, accountability actually flows laterally. Everybody is equal to a certain degree. Peers challenge peers. Leaders are okay with people rising up or asking questions. Not rising up, that's an exaggeration, but asking questions, being critical, thinking about things from a different perspective. Teammates call each other up, not out. And it sounds like this. Remember we said this mattered? Why are we doing things differently? Or are we still aligned on this? Wait a second, that's not our standard. Those are the things that create accountability with trust. Because accountability without trust, that feels like an attack. But accountability with trust feels like protection. Protection of the mission, not of the self, not of the ego. Protection of the mission and protection of excellence. And when we talk about excellence, especially here on Kindness Rising, is there any other, I don't know, any other example that we can give? A better example, at least for me, than, of course, the 1980 Miracle on Ice team. And remember the movie? The movie immortalized it, Miracle. On paper, this was not the most talented team. Coach Herb Brooks didn't build a roster. He built a standard. And I'm going to show you a couple scenes right now from the movie that reminds us about that standard. All right, let's go. First, the setup. Team is starting to get together. First time together. These are a bunch of college kids that used to play against each other. There's a lot of animosity between the individual players, right? But Herb Brooks selected them for a reason. And here is the setup. I think. The setup. The setup.
Breakout play, gentlemen. What the hell are you hitting like that for, man?
Bush League, OC.
I said OC.
So your boy here to keep us set up. You won't have to worry about
See
it.
the guys on different sides, different teams.
Come on, give it to him. Well, how about it, boys? Look like hockey to you? More like a couple of monkeys trying to hump a football to me. I don't
One of
know.
my
You want to
father's
settle old
favorite
scores.
lines.
You're on the
Good old
wrong
time.
team.
Monkey
We
hump.
move forward starting right now. We start becoming a team right now. Skating, passing, flow, creativity. That is what this team is all about, gentlemen, not old rivalries. Why don't we start with some introductions? Get to know each other a little bit.
Robert Clanahan, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Who you play for?
For you, here at the U.
Jack O'Callahan, Charlestown, Mass.
I'm Ralph Cox. I'm from wherever's not going to get me hit.
Very good. Everybody on the line, let's go.
All right. So they're introducing themselves and Their identities are tied to their college teams first, and he's sending them on the line. Anybody who's ever played a sport, hockey is a big one, but also basketball, I know this is used a lot, even in football. Suicide drills, running, sprints. Good morning. Welcome into Kindness Rising. Roseanne Ruth, thanks for saying hi in the comments. That's my mother. Thank you so much. Who else is out there? Say hello in the comments. We're talking about trust, and we just had the setup for the miracle moment, the moment that everybody remembers from the movie when the team has just played an exhibition match. They didn't necessarily perform to the standard that their coach, Herb Brooks, had set up for them. And now we see the result. It started with early on, people, the team members identifying with their college team, right? The team that they were associated with. And these were often rivalries. We saw the fight. Now let's see what happens after this exhibition match, where the team did not perform to the standard expected by the leadership.
Get a whistle. Shoot hit the top of the bed. Money with the head or do his off the bed. Get over the head. Not for the tender or very young.
You see the tension building. People are wondering, what the hell is Herb Brooks doing in this moment? Watch the looks on the guy's face.
What for?
We'll find out soon enough. Let's go back on the ice. Come on, boys.
What for?
We'll find out in a minute, won't we? Let's go. Come on.
Rolling their eyes, kind of smirking. Pretty intense glare there, huh?
You guys don't want to work during the game? No problem. We'll work now. Go on. That one.
in front of the crowd that's still milling out after the game, after the performance, in public, showing it, the development of this team. That guy is the head of the U.S. Olympic hockey team, wondering what the hell is going on here. Greg Ramsey, the assistant coach, following what his head coach has to say. And there they go. Man, let me tell you, suicides are exhausting, dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. Especially in hockey, playing those heavy skates back and forth, back and forth. He's already exhausted, looking a little lollygag after the game. Joel's got to do it too.
You can win on talent alone? Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. Again.
Breaking down the individual egos.
You better think about something else. Each and every
Time
one of you.
passing.
When you pull on that jersey, you represent yourself and your teammates. And a name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. Get that through your head. Again. Everybody get on that line. Hey.
Feels a little cruel, doesn't it?
Again.
Here they go. Ramsey. Really?
Again. Herb. Come on, Craig. Blow the whistle. Again.
He says, I'm not stopping.
Michael Ruggioni! We're through Massachusetts. Who do you play for? Play for the United States of America.
There it is.
That's all, gentlemen.
The breakdown of the ego. Thanks for indulging me as I went through that and showed you that. The point is, again, felt cruel. It wasn't punishment. It was identity formation. The shifts that happens when the player stopped identifying as the name on the back of the jersey or the college that they went to and started identifying as one team, the USA. They held each other accountable to something bigger than themselves, and the results, one of the greatest upsets in sports history, the miracle on ice. Do you believe in miracles? Talent didn't win that game, but the standards that Herb Brooks established, those standards, that's what raised them to the next level. Thanks for joining me here on Kindness Rising. We've been going all week long talking about trust and how we build a team that functions without the individual egos, that puts the ego aside for the betterment of the team, and how we as leaders can build rooms where that kind of trust, the vulnerable trust, lives. And that's what gets us to the results. Because at the top of this pyramid, that's results. It's not ego. It's not personal reputation. It's not who gets the next promotion. It's collective results, because trust aligns intentions, and conflict, that sharpens your ideas, questioning each other, right? And then that gets us to commitment. We just saw how commitment emerges from that kind of conflict. And from that, you can build accountability, which sustains those standards and the results that prove that the system worked. Because the scoreboard, it doesn't care about your intentions. It reflects your execution. Yes, you have to be intent with what you do, but it reflects your execution. Thank you for joining me here on Kindness Rising this morning as we get up and get after it on a Friday, keeping it light a little bit. We are going to continue this conversation here about trust and about Patrick Lencioni's five dysfunctions of a team and how we can build it together. Thank you again for joining me here. I appreciate each and every one of you who has come out to help me to get up and get after it myself, right? And we're here on Kindness Rising talking about our 6 strings of accountability. Kindness, of course, is the lead, where we keep accountability respectful, and curiosity, where we keep the idea of improvement and questioning things and what else is possible. We keep those ideas alive. And self-awareness that keeps our ego contained, right? We can check ourselves when we're starting to get putting ourselves above the mission. I know I've fallen into that trap, and it never works out well. You get a little bit hurt by something and you make it about yourself, or your idea isn't used. Particularly early in my career, I used to get so upset when I thought my idea was great, and then it didn't get used, or worse, somebody took it and made it their own. That's the worst. That's absolutely the worst. But I've also learned how to use that too, because people who are like that. So there is something. I'm not super political, but that's one thing that I have learned in my career is how to plant seeds for people who have to have it be their idea, and letting go of my ego. And then after the fact and after it's executed, remembering where the idea came from. Here's the thing: growth keeps that standard rising. It continues to ask the question, what else? Why, or and why? What else and why? What am I missing? Those kind of questions. And in an environment where trust, can you see my icon here? I don't think you can. I'll have to figure out how to do that. Trust as the base, that keeps it safe. It makes a safe place for us all to operate within. And then that's it. The results come. The results will come. I promise. That is absolutely, I have seen this in action. I've seen it in action throughout my career. I'm watching it in action in another area of my life right now, where I'm going to talk to you about it a little bit in terms of a little project that I'm working on, more than a little project. As a matter of fact, it is going to be the theme all next week. I'm going to talk to you about that. All right. What's going on out there? Not much happening in the comments today. I see people out there. Why aren't you commenting? Say hello to us this morning. I'll be glad to say hello back, shout you out, connect with you. Ah, there he is. There he is. I knew you were out there, Sully. Thanks for jumping in. I really appreciate it. Actually, me adding the miracle scene today was because of you, Mike Sullivan. So I appreciate you remembering that's just, to me. And I realize I am a sucker for nostalgia, and of course anything related to hockey is like been forever. But I just think it's really great stories. So, yes, grow your life coach biz, buddy. I am telling you right now, you can build an entire business if you want right out of this book. I'm not associated with this group. They're called the Table Group, and it's Patrick Lencioni, and I highly recommend you look at their works. This book is about 20 years old at this point. Like I've said it before, I picked it up about 10 years ago and have used it numerous times and decided to bring it here. They also have full programs, Sully. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is your thing. You can, I mean, it's not inexpensive, and I haven't invested in it. I invested in the book and I read the book, but I mean, you can become certified in their 5 dysfunctions of a team program and bring that out to the world in terms of consulting. There's so many teams in the world that need this, that need to hear this message. I know you've been on teams, and I know I've been on teams where trust was missing, and it just the team can't perform without it. Table group, Patrick Lencioni, really kind of a leading um, authority. That's the word, authority on teamwork, and they also have a bunch of other stuff. Their really good one is um oh my god, 6 Working Geniuses. Maybe you've heard this. That I love because it's about the individual. Sully, maybe you want to start there. The Working Genius, it talks about and helps you identify where your working genius is, and how when the work that you're doing is aligned with who you are, that's when you can succeed. And it helps you to identify those things. I have gone through that, and it talks about different parts of projects, right? There are people who are great at ideation, people who are great at execution, people who are great at asking questions in the middle and judging, right? So it's called the 6 Types of Working Genius. It's another thing from the table group. I have leaned into them throughout my life and throughout my career. I first heard of Patrick Lencioni during my master's degree program, and this was when his table. I don't even think he was table group. I think he was just Patrick Lencioni, and he had a book called Silos, Politics, and Turf Wars. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, we studied that one in my master's degree program, and I've just evolved with the table group. Really good organization. But I didn't come here as a commercial for the table group, although I proudly and gladly say that they have been instrumental in my world. But I do want to give you a little bit of challenge for today, and then we're going to shift gears in the last 5 minutes or so of the program and talk about what's coming up here next week, and a project that I've been working on and I'm proud to be associated with. And I know that there are people out there who are going to come along with us. But today's challenge, if you're in a team environment, here's what I want you to do. Thinking about that tip of that pyramid. Well, it came out of the screen. Tip of the pyramid. What does great look like here? And then ask the most important follow-up question. Are we holding each other to it? Because excellence isn't declared, it's executed, and then it's defended. That's the end game of the pyramid of the 5 dysfunctions of a team. Thank you again for coming out, everyone who has spent time with us this week while we've been on Trust Week. It's been a great week for me. I know that. Remembering distracted, ding dong squirrel. Remembering what it really means to be a team. And at 10:40 a.m. this morning, Eastern time, if you got the time or you're doing something, put it on in the back. You're going to see Canada versus Finland. We know I'm actually hoping Canada wins because I want to see Canada versus USA, even though it will be an uphill climb for the Americans to take on that Canadian team that's out there this year, or this Olympics. And at 3:10, U.S. versus Slovakia in the other semifinal. So that'll be exciting. But as I've been teasing, as I promised, I am moving on to something else. We're done with trust. We're not done with trust. Trust is always there. But I want to talk about something different, literally something different. And that's the power of different. Something I've noticed my whole life. I think, Mom, I know you're out there listening. I think you've trained me to do that. I didn't realize it through your work as a special education teacher, your work in your volunteerism through churches and kitchens, soup soup kitchens and all these other things. But I've always noticed it. I've been thinking about stories in my life, and this is something that's important to me. Some of the most gifted people in the room, in the world, are often the most overlooked. And we all have value to offer in this world. And the people are overlooked not because they lack talent, not because they lack attention, but because they don't fit neatly into a little box. It's one of the reasons I love the Grateful Dead. Good morning, Spartacus. I am glad you are here. Listen up, buddy. Listen up right here, because I think maybe you might relate. People who don't fit into a neat little box. They don't speak the right corporate dialect. They're not optimized for the algorithm. They're not all polished. Sometimes they show up with a headband and a missing tooth and a t-shirt or a hoodie. Sometimes they show up differently, whatever it might be, but they're different. And difference makes systems feel uncomfortable. But next week and moving forward, we're going to be leaning into this. I've teased it before. I talked about it earlier in the week. We're talking about the power of different, nonconformance, authenticity, the strength of not fitting in, because conformity, it might get you approved, but authenticity is what's going to get you aligned. And I've seen so many brilliant people passed over, marginalized, and disregarded because of some superficial bias, cultural polish, the algorithm, whatever it is. This is why I'm putting my own time where my mouth is, on a new platform called Weird LinkedIn. Not Weird LinkedIn. It evolved from about a year ago, where the Weird LinkedIn movement started to emerge. People who I just described rising up and saying, hey, what about me? And not just what about me, but here's the value I have to provide. And there are so many around that are joining in this. And so here's the thing. I'm not talking about this because I'm stepping into a leadership role or whatever the case may be. I'm it's all volunteer at this point. But it's really important to me because it's aligned with who I am. And here's what it means. Weird LinkedIn. You have to say it like that, because if you say LinkedIn, you might get algoed out or shadow banned or whatever. But Weird LinkedIn, without the vowels. I think that went. Yep. It's a professional networking platform built for the people who don't necessarily fit neatly into that algorithm box. It's open source, it's community and volunteer run, and it's designed to value substance over polish, real work, real ideas, real conversations, not vanity metrics, not optimized highlight reels. If you've ever felt that you've had the immense talent, but somehow are getting filtered out, this is the place for you. Right? If you've ever looked overlooked despite doing meaningful work, this is the place for you. Weird LinkedIn. Absolutely. We're getting very close to launching some very powerful tools. I'm going to be promoting some of them out here for us too. And starting next Wednesday, right here on Kindness Rising, 7:30 a.m., I am going to be featuring Weird Wednesdays, where people from this community come out and I help to amplify their voice, amplify our voices, to bring the value of the work that they have to offer to the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's the thing. Difference isn't a liability. It's actually leverage, right? And I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to tease my friend here, if I can get her profile to show up for you all. This is my friend. This is April Drake. April Drake is really taking a very strong leadership role in this as the project manager, the program manager. You can see some of her credentials working with Microsoft, Amazon, Zillow, some really big names. Brilliant woman out there, helping to grow as a co-founder and managing member of this movement. She's going to be my first guest in the Weird LinkedIn movement. Absolutely brilliant, and the thing that I have learned from April throughout this process, as I've gotten involved in this idea of open source, which I've never really done before, what I learned from April is boundaries. She's a great project manager. I'm excited to bring her to the show. So when we're done here, go out there, check out that weird spelling. We've got a YouTube page. That is going to be my role in the program. In the platform, I'm going to help to build the YouTube page. If you want to get your message out there, mark your calendar for next weekend, because the power of different is about to get organized. And look out, because here we come. So here's the thing. Let's go back. We're winding it down. Trust isn't soft. It's structural. It makes conflict productive. It makes commitment durable, and it makes accountability possible. And ultimately, the results become visible step by step, because it's not hype. It's not earned when you reach the summit. And I know the Weird LinkedIn movement is going to reach the summit because of the amazing work that those people do. So have a great weekend, everyone. Don't forget to root for the USA as the Olympic hockey tournament comes to a wind down. There's going to be some exciting action there. And I'll see you on Monday celebrating our gold medal victory. Until then, though, stay uncommon and stay kind.
What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.